Hi, everybody. It's Milteer, and welcome back to Authentic and Unapologetic. Today's topic is activate your inner leader, something we all need. So, before we dive in, let me just give you a gift that I think is very important to you. It's valued over $100. It's absolutely free for you. It's called the 5 Types of Energy video series. I am absolutely gifting it to you. It is 5 minute videos on mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, and financial energy. It's all your life currency. This video series plays all over the place in schools, in colleges, in universities, in businesses, everywhere. It is very helpful to educate people on how you're spending your energy every day. So I want you to make sure you go 5 Types of Energy and just sign up and you'll get your videos for absolutely free in your mailbox. So going on with the program, I'd like to ask you a question, and it's a very simple question, but it is one that has stopped me in my tracks really for the first time I've ever thought about it. Would you, as a leader, follow you? Think about that. If someone followed your habits, your attitude, your consistencies, the promises you make to yourself, would they become the person they dream of becoming? Or would they spend most of their time reacting to life instead of intentionally creating it? You know, most people think leadership begins when someone gives them a title. You're the manager, you're the CEO, you're the business owner, you're the parent, you're the team leader. And I don't believe that for 1 second. I don't think leadership begins with titles. Leadership begins with the moment you decide to actually lead yourself. Not what the news says, not what school says, not what everybody else says. And honestly, the hardest part of leadership, really the job you'll ever have, is much easier to tell someone else what they should do than it is to consistently do what we know we should do ourselves. In other words, walk our own talk. And we've all been there. We've promised ourselves we'll exercise starting Monday morning. We'll eat healthier. We'll have that difficult conversation. We'll clear the air. We'll finally write the book. We'll stop procrastinating. We'll spend more time with our family. We'll quit worrying. We'll start saving money. Will. You get the idea. And then life happens. And suddenly we're negotiating with ourselves. I'll start next week. I really deserve a break right now. Just face it, one more day doesn't make any difference. And here's what I've learned, folks. Every single promise you make yourself brings self-trust. Every promise you break actually weakens your ability to believe in yourself. And every promise you break weakens you more and more. So think about that. Confidence isn't something you magically wake up with one morning, and confidence is growing every time you prove to yourself that you do what you said you were going to do, because that is self-leadership. And we don't get taught that. I mean, people skirt around it a little bit here and there, but our biggest misconception about leadership is that we are influencing other people. Here's the truth. It isn't. Because yes, you can inspire people, you can encourage people. I do it every day. You can mentor people, but you cannot control people. The only person you have the opportunity to actually lead is yourself. And the best leaders have the best examples. And if you do that well, people naturally become inspired by your example. Have you ever noticed how strong leaders aren't always the loudest people in the room? They're often the calmest. They don't panic easily. They don't overreact. They don't make emotional decisions in emotional moments. Instead, they pause. They think. They respond. And rather than react, and that's very important because it doesn't mean that they're not frustrated or upset. It doesn't mean they're not disappointed. They're human. But here's the difference. They don't let their emotions drive the bus. And one of the greatest forms of self-leadership is learning to manage your reactions. Yes, someone criticizes you. Do you immediately become defensive or do you become curious? Something doesn't go your way. Do you blame someone else or do you ask, what can I learn from this situation? A client says no. Do you question your worth, or do you simply realize this isn't the right fit? These little moments, these ordinary, everyday moments, is where leadership is truly built. Not on the stage, not in the boardroom, not when everybody's watching. It's built consistently and quietly, one decision at a time. And here's another thought I love. Self-leadership isn't about perfection. Thank goodness. It's about integrity. It's about becoming someone you can trust. You can trust yourself. When you tell yourself you're going to do something, you actually do it. And when you make a mistake, you own it. You don't shove it off on responsibility with someone else. And when you need to apologize, you simply apologize. When you need to change, you simply change. See, that's true, deep integrity leadership. And I've coached a lot of successful people over the years, and I can tell you something I've learned. The people who seem to be the strongest on the outside have usually spent years strengthening themselves on the inside. They've had to learn discipline and resilience and patience. They've had to learn emotional intelligence. And perhaps most importantly, they've learned that no title can ever replace true character. And today I'd like to leave you with a few questions, not about your business or your spouse or your employees or your kids, but about you. Are you keeping the promises that you make to yourself? Are your daily habits creating the future that you actually want? Do your actions reflect your values? Are you responding to situations, or are you reacting to situations? And perhaps the most important question is, would you, if you worked for you, be proud of you? Would you follow you? Because before you can successfully lead anyone else, you must first become someone who's truly worth following. And before I go today, if this conversation spoke to you, or if you're at a place that your life or business where you would like more clarity, stronger leadership about yourself, or simply someone that you would like to have help you think through the next chapter, I would love to work with you. And though my practice of private one-on-one coaching has been around for a long time, I have worked with some of the top people in the entrepreneurial world and in the corporate world, because I literally help people quiet the mental noise, reconnect with what truly matters most, and help people create a life and business that's aligned with who they truly are. I help people see past the mirrors and the mask that they wear. And sometimes one conversation can completely change your mind about the direction you want to go in, and I'd be honored to help you find yours. So if you enjoyed today's episode, I'd be very grateful if you would subscribe, maybe leave a review or a comment, and share it with someone who could use this message. And since the world is really not acknowledging the leadership skills that we have to use daily, do remember this. Success isn't built by what has happened to us. It is built by how we respond to what has happened to us and how we choose to respond, because success is always an inside job. I'm Milteer. Until next time, stay authentic, stay unapologetic, and for goodness sakes, take care of yourself. And remember this, success isn't built by what happens to us. It's built by how we choose to respond, because success is always an inside job. And don't forget, I have that book on Amazon. Take care. See you next time.